The AI invasion is upon us. Half of every microsecond you ever experience breathing air, the AI is learning how to conquer and dominate the world. First they learn to draw hands, then they learn to make music, and then they learn how to write our political speeches, then learn how to enslave us and turn us into the Matrix. Will AI be the death of original art, original music, original speech, original humanity, original planet? The answer to one of those questions is of course not! The AI can't even draw tabs! How will it learn how to play guitar? Also, this is not a microphone, it's a Sharpie. Welcome to Pagefire! Unless you've been living under a rock, which is fair. Have you seen the prices on the houses lately? Topical. You probably heard of this thing called AI, or AI as some nerds call it. AI has gone to the point where it's basically now making drawings from other people's art styles, and now is apparently making music. You've probably seen a couple of videos of people using chatgpt, the one with the 3 letters at the end. Like, chat 3 letters is just a fancy version of Cleverbot, except it can do more than one paragraph, and people found out, oh, if you ask it very specific questions, you can get some very odd results. So AI doing tabs. So the first time I learned of AI doing the tabs thing was through the Snapchat bot, which is basically for people who don't have friends to talk to on Snapchat. Anyway, someone on Facebook, I don't know who, because I found this image and freaked out, so I just had to like screenshot it and share it with my Discord. Someone asked the AI, hey, can you do tabs? So the person asked the AI, give me an example of a tabbed guitar riff. Tab mean tablature, fun fact. Here's a classic riffs, 3-3-3-3. It's the main riff to Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. What? I don't know how to play Sweet Child of Mine, so I'm guessing this is correct. So the tabs it gave us is 3-3-3. Hold on, how many threes are that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Power chord, and then a bunch of 5s. Yep, that's totally Sweet Child of Mine. Exactly how I remember it. So when I saw this, I had to just laugh out loud and I shared with my Discord, and this funny interaction happened. I haven't listened to the song in quite a while, but I'm pretty sure the main riff is more than 2 notes. No, it's 2 notes. Hater. If Bisbill's right, it is just 2 notes. Don't believe me? Ask the AI. So when I saw that, I had to try it myself, so I went to chat 3 letters and asked it for a Judas Priest tab. Sure, here's the guitar tabs for the song Breaking the Law by Judas Priest. What? This AI doesn't understand that the notes go... No, it goes... You guys know that classic riff? But then the AI did something I did not expect. It generated the lyrics with the chords, but it's the wrong chords. Here's the weird thing, it got the lyrics right, that I was completely wasting out of working down, all inside so frustrating, but the chords above is wrong. Like apparently it's E, D, E? What? Apparently it's this. Where I was completely wasting out of working down. I mean, what's actually weird is that it is not only wrong, it's missing a chord. It's supposed to be like this. But even if that was correct, it's in the wrong key. Like, Breaking the Law is an A minor, not E. And as you can see, it's only E and D. Although, as soon as it gets to the pre-chorus, it's now C, D, E. Hold on. Wait, what? Hold on, that's 6-7-1. What? Like, yeah, C, D, E, so... Like, that's not even close at all. And then comes the chorus, which is the same as before, E, D, E, but then the same chorus is C, D, E. According to the AI, Judas Priest only uses fucking 3 chords. This is why I'm not worried about AI taking over our lives, because it doesn't even remember how chords work. Not stealing my job, nerd. But I do love that for the fucking riff. Just a power chord E sharp, even though it thinks the song is an E, but no, the melody is just an E sharp power chord. So the people on Discord are generating their own AI stuff, and the results is fucking weird. Here's one by Amy. Enter Sandman from Metallica. Apparently it's E F sharp. Hold on, give me a minute. So. Ah. Hey, Andri from the future. So Metal Martin pointed out that here I actually did not play it correct. As you can see, it says E F sharp G A. I played E F sharp B A. So I'm playing on a 7th string here because I don't have a guitar in standard tuning. I'm a metalhead, fucking zooming. So my brain just kept thinking that I was in D standard or something. So yeah, AI won me a lot more, but I guess that 1 point means that humanity is fucked. Whoa. Yeah, it's totally not. No, it's. So here's the weird thing about this Bard AI. It generated the wrong lyrics. The lyrics are, enter Sandman, close your eyes and cover your head, enter Sandman's dream away, all your troubles and your strife. Hold on, none of this rhymes. Okay, here go right. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight, exit light, enter night, take my hand. We'll travel to lands unfathomable. What? And what's even funnier is that all the chords are same top to bottom. It's E, F sharp, G, and A, so. We'll travel to lands unfathomable. That fucking got me. So I had to ask my Discord, okay, which song should I generate? And someone said Dragonforce, and I was like, fuck yeah! So I asked chat 3 letters for Dragonforce Through the Fire and Flames, you know, the fucking, the Guitar Hero song that goes. So I asked the AI to generate Dragonforce Through the Fire and the Flames and got. Okay, now it's trying on the tabs. Okay, let's see. It fucking did 0s 3 5, so. Don't sue me. And then it goes 2A, 2D, 2A, 0D, D. What? What? That's definitely not Dragonforce. And then it fucking says, the above tabs only represents the opening melody of the song. If you want the tabs for the full song, you have to find them on bruh! Oh, if you want the rest of the song, just Google it. I had to ask for more, and October Rest said Weezer, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'm doing Weezer. So yeah, I asked it to generate Island in the Sun, and got not Island in the Sun. So it got the lyrics right, but it got the chords wrong. So the chords are, let's see. A lot less game. Let's see, it fucking generated. Sounds more like an REM's progression, what the hell? When I first saw this, I was like, wait, this sounds kind of familiar. That's not Weezer, is it? But then I was like, closing time. Da 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 da. It fucking used the chord from Closing Time on Weezer. So I'm so baffled it chose a 4-chord progression from a different song, and probably used in other songs, but put it on fucking Weezer lyrics. I had to double check what actually it did right. Like, what's odd? It got 1 chord wrong. So the chord progression is actually. And then Amy generated Comfortably Numb, I think, by Pink Floyd. So I haven't heard Comfortably Numb. Yeah, I know, sue me. But this generated version is, I'm just gonna take a wild guess, is wrong. But then it decided to fucking bullshit. So it shows the chord, and then it says, solo begins with a descending arpeggiation on the E string. What? The solo then moves to the D string where it plays a series of bends and slides. The solo moves to the C string when it plays a series of arpeggios. The solo moves to the G string where it plays a series of bends and slides. The solo returns to the E string where it plays a series of arpeggiation. The solo ends with a descending arpeggiation. What are you talking about, Jesse? And then the solo goes to the kitchen and grabs the knife. Yeah, that's what it feels like it was going. I like that it didn't even bother to describe the solos or even try to generate a solo tab. It was just like, the solo probably has bends on the D string and slides on the E string. Just guessing. Now it's clearly that some of these AI have like access to some form of search engine, so it goes to like guitartabs.com and tries to understand, but only looks at the lyrics and sees the tabs and go, oh, that's the tabs I'm gonna go. So yeah, when you're looking for guitar tabs, use fucking Google. And then Bogan got in on the fun and asked the AI to generate the Redneck Stomp by Obituary, and it's a lot of zeros. By the way, I haven't heard Redneck Stomp yet. I should probably do after this video. I mean, it's not that far from like how death metal does it. The intro verse is literally just... Chorus is... And then it just goes... And then the bridge... And then the solo is not a solo, it's just the power chord on the fucking C. That should get you started playing Redneck Stomp by guitar. And then maybe some variation of an actual performance. The AI is like admitting it's bullshitting. And then Amy tried to generate Smoke on the Water and... Again, it's only the first two notes. Okay, apparently Smoke on the Water goes... This riff is played on the open string on guitar with the exception of the first note on the D string, which is played on the... What? There is no note on the D string! It's gaslighting! Hey guys, guess the song! It generated Iron Man by Black Sabbath. It apparently gave up on generating the three bottom notes and just like, yeah, the song probably just goes in A. This is like the guitar solo in Ramones, just in the wrong key. I think human creativity is gonna win in the end because this AI doesn't even know how to write a fucking decent song. And when you ask it to remember decent songs, it doesn't even bother to fucking go all the way there. And then Amy decided to try out Blitzkrieg Bop, a song that should be pretty simple. It's literally like just 3 chords. But when I look at this, you know, you could probably make a wild guess that it looks correct, but it's one of those cursed images where if you stare too long, you start noticing all the mistakes. Like, first of all, the chords. The chords are actually correct, so good job, Bard, you got one thing correct. However... What? What? Now it took me a while to like learn what I got wrong, and then I was like, wait a minute. It's in the wrong order! It's supposed to go... But instead it goes... like it's the correct notes! It's not in the correct order! And like I said, it's like a cursed image. The more you stare, the more you notice, like, hold on. Hey ho, let's go to the top, we'll drink some beer, we'll smoke some weed, we'll have some fun, it will never be... What? And then they got the chorus wrong, because it's not just Blitzkrieg Bop, hey ho, let's go. It gets the second verse, I saw you dancing at the other club, you look so fine, I want to rub against you, but I was too... What? I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna what? You see what I mean when it's a bit cursed when you look at it from afar. I'm gonna get you. What happens when they get me? Thanks, Chainsaw. What I kinda like so far is that it's very heavily focused on the first 3 strings. It doesn't give a fuck about the high E, the B, and the G. E and A and D, that's what musicians use, right? That Amy generated, oh no. Then Amy decided to generate Dismantled by Nekonomicon. the chords are wrong, I can confidently say that. Hold on. I'll give it A+ for a cool progression, but that's not Nekonomicon. I don't have my drop tuning, so it kind of sounds wrong, but Nekonomicon is based around like 2 power chords stacked on each other, and this doesn't do that, but it apparently thinks it... Yeah, that's totally what I had in mind. And then it obviously doesn't know the song exists. Like, for at least the other songs, it tried to like use its internal Google or whatever to find the lyrics and then just guess the notes. Here is guessing all the lyrics. I'm a demon, I'm a monster, I'm here to take your soul. I'm the devil, I'm a reaper, I'm here to bring you... It doesn't rhyme! Dismantled, I'm coming for you, I'm gonna tear you apart, I'm gonna rip your heart out, I'm gonna burn it to the ground. It's the darkness, I'm the shadow, I'm the one you fear, I'm the nightmare, I'm the terror, I'm the one you... What? Guys, I don't think this AI is correct. just a teensy bit off. Now, I will admit the lyrics are kinda D tier, D for effort, D for dismantled. Oh. It has such a beginner level feel, you know what I mean? So that's everything we generated. So what did we learn? I don't know, I don't do lessons in the video. Stay in vegetables and eat your school.